Corey Burke was her name. She was found clapping and smiling, covered in her father's clapping and smiling in it. She was a space rocket program manager. Okay. She was brilliant. She unalived her father with an ice axe on election night after a breakdown following Donald Trump's victory. Cops said that 33-year-old Corey Burke was found clapping and smiling in her father's stuff. This is her. This young girl. Young girl with so much, but 33, that's young to me because I'm 40 and I'm young. So we're going to call her a young girl, okay? But seriously, this is demonic possession, you guys. This is not because she was crazy, because she just had problems. No, her problem was spiritual. The problem was that these demons got so attached to her that were spewing her these things of hatred, again, anti-family, anti-life, all of the things that we mentioned earlier in this conversation. All of these spirits latched onto this woman, led her to do the craziest thing. And guess what she called it? She considered this attack an act of liberation. Does this language not just scream liberal woke movement? There are spirits behind this woke liberal movement. These are the spirits: anti-life, anti-family, division, hate, rage. She's been accused of biting the S word, this S word, hacking her father. He was 67 until he was unalived. She's a training program manager at Jeff Bezos' spacecraft company. She was married to a prominent transgender writer, author of the acclaimed book, Real Queer America. Are you seeing patterns here? Are you seeing patterns here? This is what is keeping this woman's daughter safe, right? Trump's election, I pray to God he sticks to what he said. He's just a man, so he could be lying. We don't know. I'm not putting all of my trust in Trump. But what he said is he wants to protect children from being indoctrinated in this woke liberal movement of sexual fluidity, gender fluidity, and all of the other things that the liberals are thinking is their new religion. This is what he is saving her daughter from. This. Crazy. Burke had been upset about the election and knew that Trump would beat Kamala Harris. An already agitated Burke reportedly snapped when her dad, Timothy Burke, refused to switch the lights off. Ooh, y'all. Oh my goodness. Oh! Do you hear this? I'm not thinking too deep into this. It's right in front of our face. It's right in front of our face. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? Tell me you see what I see. Timothy refused to turn the lights off. What does that sound like? She wanted the darkness. She wanted the darkness. She said, turn them lights off. She wanted it to be dark. He said, I'm not turning the lights off. We're going to keep the light on because the dark cannot endure the light. He didn't want to turn the lights off. She wanted the darkness. I mean, if that is not a metaphor, I don't know what is. That's crazy. This is the first time I read that. He refused to switch the lights off, so she switched them off for him. Literally and spiritually. Burke then went upstairs to bring an ice pickaxe before tripping her father, biting and strangling him on the floor, and then repeatedly hitting him with the blunt and sharp ends of the tool. She then sat down beside her father and watched him pass away before smashing all the windows of the house as an act of liberation. Because she was so happy. She was clapping because she was so happy. These are the demons we're working with. These are the demons of the woke liberal movement. This is it. This is it. I hope you see it. This got me hyped because it's just like this. It's right in our face. These same demons are trying to break up families. I'm telling you, these same demons are whispering to women, divorce your husband because he voted for Trump and Trump doesn't care about your life and Trump wants you dead and Trump hates you and Trump's racist and Trump's all of these things. So divorce your whole husband. Divorce your whole husband because of Trump. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Anti-family. Anti-life. Burke told cops that her relationship with her dad had been strained and there were no strong boundaries. Clearly. She said it was Trump's victory that overwhelmed her and pushed her to the breaking point. Sounds like some angry demons could not accept their defeat. When cops initially arrived at the scene, Burke stepped out of her house with her hands raised and face covered in his remains. However, she said she did not know where the blood came from. I did not want to say that word. Or who broke the windows. Y'all, I'm telling you right here. I'm telling you right now. This is demonic possession. I'm sure you know this. She didn't know. She wasn't lying. I promise you she wasn't lying. I wasn't there, but we know how the spirit works. We know how demons work. She wasn't lying when she said she didn't know where this blood came from. She didn't know how the windows got broken. She blacked out. The demons took over. If you've seen demonic possession, you know that the person wakes up out of it and they're like, what just happened? Is everything okay? It's like she was there, but she wasn't. Eventually, she described what happened and whispered to one of the officers, I unalived him. According to charging documents, she has been charged with first-degree M-word and is currently being held on $2 million bail. I mean, like, for real, for real, for real. And I just want to show you one more thing. Corey Burke and wife, or Corey Burke and girlfriend. Corey Burke. Was she married? Okay. This is them. All right. Oh. Right. This movement is darker than we think, you guys. It's darker than we think. This isn't to offend anybody. Okay. It's very necessary to see the demons moving behind certain movements like transgenderism. It's crazy. I had no intention on going there. I wanted to keep this an hour today because my sons are coming back from basketball practice. I wanted to keep it chill today, but I couldn't because the connections are here. Don't forget, if you haven't made these connections before today, which I'm sure you already have, but just let's say you haven't made these connections to the spirits that are attached to these movements and the spirits that are attached to what we're seeing on media. Now you know. Okay. Woke liberalism are attached to spirits of anti-life, anti-family. I'm going to keep repeating it so it can really sink in. So now when you see it, you can recognize it. And now you see why people are so mad. It's not them. It's not because they have just emotional problems. I mean, maybe they do, but it's not that. It's deeper than that. It runs deeper than that. It's not just because they need to go to therapy. It's not because they need medication. It's not because of a mental illness. They're angry. They're raging out. Or they're disconnecting from their family. They're isolating because demons are impacting them to do so. And the saddest part is the isolation part to me. The isolation part is the worst because this is what demons do. They put you in an echo chamber. They isolate you from the people who could actually possibly help you get delivered or at least bring you back to this love, the spirit of love. Even if their family members are not Christian and Christ, Holy Spirit filled, Sometimes it's just enough to be around love and family and good memories to snap out of certain demonic strongholds. It's not enough to be fully delivered, but it's enough to be temporarily snapped out of the delusion that comes from these demons when they're trying to infiltrate and make people believe they're not safe in this world. God did not give us a spirit of fear.
Gracious.
And we all want the same things. Like, how do you even begin to have that conversation if you are starting off on completely different planets? I don't have the headspace to do it right now. It's not in the best interest of my mental health. But knowing that there are people in my real life who honestly think that we just sort of disagree on taxes or something, I can't have that conversation. So where do you all stand? Any boundaries that you set lately?
Yeah, you don't just disagree on taxes. She's totally right. She's not just disagreeing with her family on taxes or reproductive rights or the border issue. She's disagreeing with her family on a spiritual level. And if you have not seen it yet, I'm sure you have. I just, I don't know who I'm talking to today. I don't know who's listening. So I don't know. Maybe this is the first time that you're coming across this idea that this is a spiritual battle. Maybe you've been knowing this and you've been writing it. Maybe you wrote a whole book about this political thing that just happened, this election, and you know what's happening spiritually. But yeah, she's not in disagreement about taxes. She's in disagreement. Her spirit is in disagreement with things that are happening. Let's just make sure we didn't miss anything else. Let's see. Another reason. Okay, here we have some more. I don't know who these people are. Another reason to turn away from those who voted for Trump is because of the people of Ukraine. Trump voters sentenced so many of them to be ground beneath Putin's boot. It's unforgivable. So now this is war issues. My aunt called asking about Thanksgiving plans. During the conversation, she mentioned she voted for Trump. I told her my home is not open to traitors, and I would not go to theirs. I have no space in my life for those who could care less about the United States. She's upset. This is a man. I have cut ties with my MAGA father and sister. I will never, ever speak to them again. You see these demons, y'all? I will spit on their graves. Anti-life. Because what's their grave got to do with Thanksgiving? What's their grave got to do with MAGA, with Trump, with the election? This is a whole man. We got men out here acting like full females. Petty. For what? What is a grave? Look in between the lines. What does a grave have to do with MAGA? That's how you know you're dealing with an anti-life spirit. What does unaliving and graves and tombstones have to do with politics? Absolutely nothing. If you still hang out with your friends or family that voted for fascism, you need a long look in the mirror. Look at all of the likes. 7 million views. 1 million views. 191,000 views. This is getting out of control. But okay, I'm going to calm down now. But I rebuke these demons. I really do. I rebuke them. I bind them up in the name of Jesus. And I encourage you to do the same thing, to pray for these people. They need prayer. They need deliverance. They need deliverance and prayer because they're tormented.